Whew, boy, my hair's a mess. So I was just poked in the eye this morning by one of my plants while single-handedly screwing myself over by planting at 2-3 in the morning. I was awake for valid reasons that I am not going to talk about. But what I do want to talk about, if I could get my eye to stop hurting, is, oh man. So, fish tank, I'll just do it with my eyes closed. Fish tank, plants. I was actually banned from a group. Well, not really banned. My offer to join the group was declined because I didn't use Substrate. Now, looking at nature, where in nature do you find fluval substrate as, soil? You don't find that in nature. What do you find? You find gravel, sand, natural stuff like that. Granted, it has excessive amounts of fertilizer because, it's a lake, it's a pond, it's an ocean, There's a lot of fish that pee and poop, and not only that, but it's its natural ecosystem. So, yeah, I get it. Ultimately, though, that is no reason to ban me. And let me tell you why. I put in there, whenever they asked what kind of substrate do you use, I said, oh honey, I don't use any special substrate. I said I just use straight up aquarium gravel because that's all you need to grow plants. And honestly, if you put substrate in there, then you're just going to end up destroying your ecosystem within 5-10 years, because that's going to release ammonia into your tank eventually whenever the substrate goes bad. And then where will you be? So really, if you use sand, for example, that's harder to grow plants in, for one, because it's so dense and packed. For two, if you don't turn the sand enough, if you don't turn the sand enough, then it can end up releasing gas, basically, that smells like rotten eggs, and it will kill everything in your tank. So my best advice is to go with just plain regular natural aquarium pebble gravel, from river rocks and stuff. Even the glowfish gravel, within 2 or 3 years, that paint's going to come off that gravel. And then where will you be? You'll be with an ammonia spike and possibly some other harmful chemicals that come from the paint. So ultimately, my point is that you don't need anything fancy. The best that you need is a decent fertilizer tab. I used to use Easy Green, but I switched to API because, I like to experiment every once in a while just to, see and get the gist of, what all my options are. Basically, I like to just branch out and explore every once in a while, especially whenever things get too costly. So I explored with API, Leaf Zone, and I also experimented with their root tabs. And I found that they work just as efficiently as Easy Green, but of course you only have a low-tech tank. Would not recommend it for a higher tech tank, like the kind that requires CO2, etc., etc. That's not something that I would use in a high tech tank. But like in my tank, I have water wisteria, Amazon swords. I do have a dwarf aquarium lily, but I mean, those are all low-tech, low-light plants, and they don't require any CO2, whereas it would be beneficial, they do not require it. Ultimately, you put root tabs, any kind of root tab, not any kind, but, because I have snails, but if you put root tabs in the soil that, again, are harmless to your snails, then whenever you put root tabs in there, then it automatically makes the substrate, it automatically gives the substrate, no matter what kind of substrate it is. I keep saying substrate. Oh my god, I need to stop. No, it doesn't matter what you use. You could grow plants out of pink aquarium gravel if you wanted to. I have actually grown plants out of glowfish gravel. And honestly, I mean, it's really not that, it's not that hard to grow plants. You just need to know how to listen to them. Whether it be aquatic or indoor regular plants. Doesn't matter. You just have to learn to listen, and they'll tell you whenever they want root tabs, and they'll tell you whenever they want certain nutrients and certain things. Like my plants are telling me right now that I need root tabs because, especially my Amazon swords, because they're starting to get, little bitty holes in their leaves. That's how I know that they're starting to get, nutrient deprived. So, what do? I put root tabs in the soil. So ultimately, you don't need a fancy substrate or anything fancy in general. Like, for decor, I just use terracotta pots, honestly. Like, no joke. You don't need anything but that, honestly. I keep saying honestly, but it's true. It's the truth. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, I just did it again. But yeah, that's all I had to babble about. I feel like I've just been running my mouth the whole time because I had, like a whole cup of coffee this morning, got very little sleep, so now my mouth is going a million miles an hour. I don't know why I'm like that, but I just am. Anyways, that's all I had to say. All right. Peace.